Okay, so in today's video, we are here to meet a QAT in the name Mr. Yaser. He was a very young man who is so ambitious, and he traveled all the way from Kuwait to the United States of America for his PhD program. But the unfortunate thing happened. And you know what? We want to meet him now to know what really happened. Let's get to meet him. Hello, sir. Good day. Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
It's so good to meet you. Thank you so much for the privilege for this interview. I don't take it for granted. So please, our audience would like to meet you, if you don't mind.
Yes, well, my name is Yaser Albahri, and I'm a citizen of Kuwait. And I'm 46 years old right now. I will be 46 soon. I was in the States of America from 1998 all the way to 2019. Total of 22, 23 years. Half of it was in colleges, cities, and towns. And the other half, unfortunately, I was in American prisons, where I saw the unseen and I witnessed the stuff that most people don't know nothing about. It was a lot of experience. I tell you that much.
Thank you so much for that. We know that you traveled to America for your PhD program, but along the way, you also started a business. Do you mind telling us why you did that? Because I know you have just your student visa. How were you able to start up a business over there?
Okay, well, you know, I went to the States in 1998 as a student, as a graduate student from Kuwait. I had a full scholarship from Kuwait University to go and pursue my MA and my PhD. And I finished my MA from Boston College. Then I went to Florida State University, where I started doing my PhD program. While doing the PhD program, I said, you know what? Why not always look for other alternatives besides school? Why not open up a business in the States of America? After all, this is the land of the free.
Yeah.
This is the land of opportunity.
Yes, sure.
The land of the free, the opportunity, and I am the brave.
Oh my God.
So I said, okay, why not? It's a single roll of the dice. Why not just throw the dice and see? Is it going to be snake eye, or is it going to be 6 on 6? Well, I threw the dice, and it was a snake eye, unfortunately. But to answer your question, when I went there, I had the F1 visa, which means student visa, that I was not allowed to open up businesses.
Okay.
So I hired an immigration lawyer, and I paid him in cash, and I told him, listen, I would like to open up businesses, and you do all the paperwork for me.
Okay.
And it cost me a lot of money. It cost me about $20,000 just to fix the papers. And I was on my way to get the permanent citizenship, the permanent residency. Then the shit hit the fan.
This is so serious.
Serious business.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And I know you spent quite a number of years in the prison. And we want to know what happened. Was it through the business, or what happened for you to have spent such amount of years in the prison?
Well, you know, most of it, you know, is online. If you go to Florida State, you will see, you know, what they say happened. And I have my own version of the story. But,
Sure.
you know, I own businesses. And when I started making a lot of money, a lot of eyes started looking at, okay, well, this guy got a lot of money. Why not we get a piece of it? And they did not want to take a piece of it in a good way. They wanted to take it in a bad way. I was a rising star. I was making a lot of money. One of my shops was making me at least $3,000 a day.
Oh my God.
So envious people came, and before you know it, started working for me. At first, you know, I started seeing, you know, crazy stories. But, you know, the crazy stories aside, to make the short story shorter, I hired a female, was a white female, was white, young female, and she accused me of sexual harassment. And in the States of America, it is very hard for a minority whether be it a black, whether be it, from African origins, or from the Middle East, or Indian, or Pakistani, or from Bangladesh, with a funny name like my name or whatever, it's very hard for you to stand in a court of law and get justice. Most of the time, the minute you show up, you already look half guilty. Because of the way you look, because your name is hard to pronounce, and because people mentality usually, he wouldn't be guilty. He would not be guilty. He would not be guilty because he's already here. He wouldn't be in the box, in the accused box, not doing nothing. He must have done something. The police would not just make up a story.
Yeah, sure.
So that's how they started the whole thing. And unfortunately, I went to trial and I lost. And the judge did not spare me while she was giving everybody 8 years, 4 years for the same crime. She gave me extra. I guess it was Christmas time for them. She gave me 15 years. She gave me a bonus. I'm taking it in a light way. It's a serious business. I was in prison and I saw a lot of crazy stuff, but I'm taking it in a light way because I realized that I either cry about it or laugh it off. So I decided to laugh it off and brush it off. To me, it was only a small chapter of my life. The best is yet to come.
My goodness, 15 good years in prison for a crime you did not commit?
Of course not.
So how was the experience right in the prison there?
Well, it was hell. It was hell on earth. Imagine, you have to watch out not only for the guards, the police who are there, not to make sure you are safe. They are there to make sure supposedly society is safe from you. So the guards, because they get so bored, they start playing games on inmates. And some of them, become, that very, very bad child who like to torture cats just because the cat is weak. So we became that cat in the box, that cat in prison, that the guard has all the power to torture and have fun just because he was bored. Just because his superiors did not tell him, hey man, stop, don't do this. As a matter of fact, sometimes their superiors will encourage them to do as a way of punishment. So I have to put up with all that. I have to put up with the guards, the so-called correctional officers. I had to put up with them, but also I had to watch out for the other animals with me in the cage, the prisoners. Some of them were innocent. Some of them were in the wrong time, wrong place. Some of them were really good people, just like I think I am a good guy. But also, there were also others, the hard criminal, the hardcore killers, rapists. Intimidation was everywhere. Beatings was everywhere. Killing was everywhere. So being a prisoner in the United States of America in their prison was like you are in a roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down. You watch for the guards, you watch for the inmates, you watch for this, you watch that. You go to sleep. By the way, you don't even sleep there. You only take cat naps. One eye always open. Because if it's not the guards coming after you, it's your fellow inmates coming after you. If they see, for example, you got a nice brand new shoes you just bought off canteen, they want that. They're willing to break your nose and take it from you. That's why, being in American prisons, you have to put up a little bit weight, you have to work out a little bit, you have to make sure that you are able to fend yourself from the other animals with you in the same cage.
Oh, that's a horrible experience. We see them in movies and all that. And I see you now, you are out from the prison and you are not living like someone whose life was, will I say, battered somehow, because that is injustice, if I should say. You were able to bounce back, pick up yourself, your published books, and doing well in your business. So I want to ask, how were you able to, bounce back, pick up yourself? You're not being dragged down by the past. You're not letting it to hold you bound.
Okay, well, I think of myself very highly. I have so much confidence in who I am.
Okay.
I have so much confidence in my abilities. To others, my abilities might be limited, and maybe they are. But to me, I think I am untouchable. I think I am irresistible. I think I am anything I put my hands, anything I have put my fingers on, I think. And I should always think that of myself. And everybody should think that of themselves too. You have to think that you are the main one. You are the number one. You have to give yourself 110% confidence in who you are, because don't expect it from others. That's the only way you will bounce back from any misfortune, from any misgivings, from any bad situation you've been through. And I had to do it the hard way. In prison, I sat down and I wrote, and I kept writing, and I kept writing, I kept writing. I kept teaching myself. I taught myself the English language better. I taught myself the Spanish language.
Wow.
I started learning sign language, the American Sign Language. I started, I thought to myself, as a resume, need to be filled with good stuff, even though I was in prison. I taught myself the American stock market. I had papers. I taught others the Arabic language. I taught Americans the English language, especially grammar. So, to me, I think of myself that anything I put my hands on, I will turn it into gold. And everybody should think that way of themselves if they want to make it back from any bad situation they've been through. So today, all praise is due to Allah. Within 1 year after coming back from prison, I have Twitter account, thousands of people there, tens of thousands. I have 2 YouTube channels. One of them has 600,000. The other one has 120,000. I have an Instagram account, has about 250,000 followers. Snapchat, about 140,000 followers. I have 9 published books. Within 1 year, I was able to purchase my own land to build a beach house on it, on the most expensive area in Kuwait. And the best is yet to come. This is nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Mr. Yaser is saying that.
You ain't seen nothing
Oh
yet.
my goodness, this is amazing, is mind-blowing. Having self-confidence is very important. It's crucial, it's essential in life. I can imagine someone being unjustly accused, and not just that, wasting away 15 years of someone's life. And the person comes out and still feels that confident, still feels that his life is worth it, still feels that this is not me. I have to move out there. I have to go for it. I have to be extraordinary. That's what I call it. It didn't just see it as 15 years has been wasted. Oh my God, what do I do? Let me just, no. He got up back there and he's making it happen. And you hear what he said, you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm so proud of you, sir, for this, really, because it's a depressing thing that happened. And I've been to your channel, I've watched some of your interviews, and I see people's comments. There's a particular guy that said he just came out from prison over there in the US, and what I read he wrote touched me. He said that you're such a good person that he feels so depressed. He feels his career, physically, psychologically, everything about him, he feels so depressed. So now for someone who has gone to prison for what he or she didn't do and out, what advice would you give to such a person? Is it a moment to feel all hope is lost?
Of course not, because this life, we only live once.
Yeah, sure.
Consider your time in prison just a chapter of your life that has passed away. That's all you have to think about. Don't think about, I understand the past sometimes is part of our present, because you think about it, because the consequences still follow you anywhere you go. But always think that, okay, this is only a figment of the past. Something happened, You cannot undo what's been done. It's done. It's time to close that chapter, close the book, and start writing your own new chapter, your own new book. With something positive this time. Don't go and rob somebody. Don't go say, well, you know, they take me as a criminal, therefore let me just go rob a bank. I might as well. Well, they treat me this way, I might as well just become one. No. If you have pride in who you are, if you have respect for who you are, if you think you have abilities, if you think you have talent. If you don't have talent, it's not too late. You can still work on one or two. It's not too late to start a talent or to build and enhance whatever ability you have already, be it painting, be it being a musician. I used to play the music. I used to play something called the mandolin, the oud. And after 14 years, you know, stopping because I was in prison, that's the first thing I did when I came back. Now, you know, I play the instrument like before, I'm better. Why? Because it's a matter of practice. Okay. Again, I teach people English today through my channels. I teach them Spanish through my channels. I teach them sign language through my channels. I teach them how to play the oud through my channels. I tell them story about my experience in prison. I don't tell them in a bad way. I don't tell them in a sad way where everybody start crying, even though there are some tragic moments. But I give them as an upbeat. Hey man, I see some crazy stuff. Wow, check this out. What happened one day, the other day. Blah, blah. I give you a laugh. I give you this and that. So try, if you can, being a prisoner or an ex-prisoner, to monetize this experience. Monetize this experience meaning get you an iPhone, get you a YouTube channel, and record and tell people what you saw there. Listen, man, I've seen some crazy stuff. Let me tell you what happened the other day. And post it twice a week. Don't say I have nothing. You have. You have a story to tell. You've seen other stories. All you gotta do is hit the record button and talk. Promise you, just like people are interested in hearing my story, others will be interested in hearing your story, and I'll be one of them too.
This is good. This is good. Rewrite the chapter. Like he said it's just a chapter. Whatever has happened in the past is just a chapter. You have to rewrite your own story. Thank you so much for that. Now, I want to know, I don't know about Kuwait, but I know where I came from, Nigeria and some other countries. When you have an ex-convict, there's kind of this kind of stigma. I don't know, do you experience such? Are you being stigmatized because of that?
Well, you know, to be honest with you, I don't know about that. I know exactly the stigma word. I know what it means. Anywhere I go in Kuwait from day one, anywhere I went, everybody want to take pictures with me.
I see.
Everybody want, you know, I sold tens of thousands of books. Thousands of them, people wanted my autograph on them. And you know, I'm very humbled, I'm very honored. I feel special that people treat me kindly. I believe I am a good person. I have my own shortcomings, but people understand, they are on my side of this story. They know America, as much as we see in Hollywood, is a great country, but also it has its own shortcomings, especially in the justice system. Anywhere I went in Kuwait, or 99.9% of the comments that come to me through YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, 99.9% of them are positive. So, never been stigmatized. I, alhamdulillah, all praise due to Allah, broke that rule. You can still go to prison and you still can come out of it and become a celebrity.
Oh my God. I love that. I love that. You know, I also want to find out from you. Let's bring it home now. You have a wife and children, and how were they able to cope while you were there? Or now you are out doing that? Yes. My husband went to prison for what he didn't do. Yes. My daddy went to prison. How are they able to cope?
Well, you know, my two daughters, when I left, imagine, so you have two daughters. You enter this door. One was 2 and the other one was 1.
Oh my God.
Then you come back again, and one now is 15 and the other is 14. So it's a lot of a change to them. I was not there for them in high school. I was not there for them when they went to middle school, elementary school. I was not there when they had their first immunization shot. I was not there when they first drew their first drawing. I was not there when they saw the world, when they went to the fair, when they played and went to outside restaurant. And they liked the food. I was not there for none of that. But I was there with them mentally. I was there with them, emotionally, because my wife made sure that she would document every moment of their lives and send it to me through the mail. When I was in prison, I had thousands of pictures of my two daughters, my wife, and the rest of my family. My wife made sure that every moment of their life was documented. I got out of prison and I had that many pictures of my two daughters as they grow up. Like today, we sit down and they say, Baba Yaser, well, check this out. You see this picture? This when I was, and I tell her, I saw it. Oh, you saw that one? I say, yes. This picture was with me when I was in jail. And I showed it to my roommates. I showed it to my other inmates. One time, I happened to be talking to two of my daughters, and one of my friends called me on an illegal phone from prison in America. So he said, yes, Yaser, what's up? I said, man, I'm glad you talked. I have my two daughters here. They want to say hello. And he knew all of them, and he started telling them stories. They were surprised. Damn, Dad, how did he know? I said, he knows because he's my friend. And as you grew up, I'm watching you. He was my roommate, and he saw you, and I used to tell him stories. So, I was with them on every step of the road. Not physically, but I was with them, on every other aspect.
That means you had a supportive wife, because if you didn't, it would be rare. And I believe there was trust between both of you, because someone who didn't trust you, she wouldn't go that extra mile of sending pictures and then telling them positive things about their dad. I'm so happy about that. And so please, I hope you're learning a lesson from that. See someone being in prison or whatever, is not the time to write those people off, okay? You cannot tell the story, you don't know what...
They should be with you in thick and thin. Thick and thin. And my wife was with me through thick and thin. Yes,
that's good. She deserves a lot. All right. So we want to hear from you now, from all the experiences you've gathered, being in the prison and all that. Will you advise a student going to the USA to study, to start up a business? And what advice will you give to such a person?
Okay, so if you want to open a business, if you want to go to the States of America, go. If you're looking for a higher, it depends where you are.
Okay.
Will you be better off going to the States of America? Then go.
Okay.
If you think you're going to be worse off, don't go. Let's say, for example, you want to go for higher education and you went to the States of America, then make sure that's your number one goal. Do not veer off. I veered off. I started opening up businesses. I became vulnerable to other people. I became vulnerable to competition. I became a competition to other people. Imagine, so I have this huge cafe in Florida who happened to be the largest on the whole East Coast. That brought jealousy from other cafes. Imagine other cafes started planting problems in my cafe. One time they brought a whole gang to come inside and smash everything.
Oh my God.
Another time they came and deliberately broke all the water pipes in the bathrooms. So because of jealousy, this guy taking all the money. This is a huge place. This guy taking all the money and we are having a hard time here. So let's make a way where this shop shut down. To the point they hired, this is true story, my competitions hired females to work for me, apply for a job. When they work for me, while they are working for me, they tell the customers, don't come here. This place stinks. This place no good. This place, the kitchen is something else. Oh, no. If you guys want to, go that place. And they kept doing the same thing. I didn't know. I was in the dark. I was thinking that everything was well. I was not that that lifestyle was not me. I would not go and just plot on others. Okay, let me see how I can shut them down. That's not my life. That's not who I am. I'm with fair competition, and may the best win. I don't do crazy stuff to shut you down. But others were willing to do the extra mile, to do all crazy stuff to shut you down. So instead of they make 500 a day, they will make 3,000 a day. Because you being there, they are not making that much because all the money is coming to you now. I said, well, it's fair competition. This is the United States of America, supposedly the land of opportunity. And here is the opportunity. I'm sorry that I came big. I'm sorry I came big and I came with a lot of money and I opened up something big and I started taking all the customers from you. But don't hate me. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Yes? No? Maybe? Hate the game. Don't hate me. But they were not happy. They were not fine with that. So my advice is, if you go into school, stay, keep your ass in school. If you go for business, then come strong. Then go lean and mean, and may the best win. But get ready, because there will be competition, and they will use all the dirty tricks in the book to harm you. I know friends. I was in Florida. I know friends from Texas, Waco, Texas, came down to the point where they started shooting at each other. The much hate. He owned the club. This guy owned the club. This guy, getting all the customers from the other guy. The other guy got a lot of. He ended up shooting in the parking lot. He is ready to take your life. Oh my God. So if you're ready for all that, go for it. If you say, okay, I'm just going to go and open up a gas station, a corner store, in the neighborhood, or whatever, go. But also there is risk. Somebody will come drunk. They want to rob you. They think, oh, this African came, or this Arab came, and he want to take our money. He might want to rob you. He might want to get slick on you, and all crazy stuff. The government might plot against you. Come here, boy. You pay taxes or not? So you have to, if you go to work there and get businesses, be careful.
Yeah.
Don't go if you want to, but be careful. I'm telling you from experience.
Be careful.
Yeah, it's a dog eat dog world over there in the States. It's not mom over here and pop over here, and this guy got a small shop over here, or this guy got a kiosk over here. No, it's a serious business.
It's serious business, guys. So, want to know, I know you published a book on this. Can we know about your book? Do you mind telling us about your book?
Well, when I was in prison, one of the good things, I did was to make sure that my time does not go to waste. So I spent 13 years in prison, but I was able to write 26 books.
What?
Yeah, and academic books. As a matter of fact, they're not just a story I want to write. So I wrote a couple of books about politics. I wrote a couple of books about comparative religion. Not comparing to religions, it's called comparative religion. That's a discipline they teach in religion schools. Okay. I never went to school for religion, but I like the subject. I went to school, I was a PhD in political philosophy. I obtained my master's degree from Boston College, also in political philosophy. I was doing my PhD on an English philosopher by the name of Thomas Hobbes. But comparative religion was my passion. So I did a few books while in prison about that subject. I wrote stories about prison, because that's my specialty at the time. Yeah. They say you need 10,000 hours to become specialized on a subject. Well, I had 10,000 days plus in prison. So I am very specialized in prison and everything else, right?
Yeah.
And I ended up writing at least 6-7 books about American prisons, both in English and in Arabic. I wrote about American prisons. I wrote about the most notorious gang in the world, who happened to be a lot involved in prison, called the MS-13, Mara Salvatrucha, from Central America. I call them the Traces. I wrote books about comparative religion, politics, the United States policy in the Middle East towards Arabs and Muslims. And you know, I wrote a few scripts for movies.
Okay.
I wrote a few scripts for the theater. So I have at least 26 books, 9 of which are published already in Arabic. And by the way, making good money.
Mr. Yaser. It's so good to know all of this. So amazing. As in, what baffles me so much was your courage. I don't know. That amazing spirit is something worth it. Is something worth having. You know. So far, we thank you for this interview.
Yes, ma'am.
And I love Kuwait. Okay. One of the things that Kuwait government, Kuwait leaders, you all love yourselves. You made mention of coming back and you became a celebrity. It's not normal with other nations, let me say. I know when the outbreak of COVID-19 last year, that was 2019, how the Kuwait government left and brought their citizens in to treat them well. That's a perfect thing, and they care about their citizens. So someone watching this may feel, you're talking because you're Kuwaiti. That's why. Me that is in this place, this is what we are going through. I want you to give advice to people, let's say both families and even the leaders, how they should treat their ex-convicts. Because I know these are humans, you have feelings, you know. People may be depressed and all that. What advice do you have? I know you received that treatment, so.
You don't have to be Kuwaiti to make it back to the top. All due respect to the Kuwaiti government, I did not receive a penny from the government yet. I still owe the government money, by the way, for the scholarship, and they want their money, by the way. So don't think, you know, I got it in a silver, spoon in my no. I can tell you that I earned everything myself because of my courage, because of my bravery, because of my loved ones and the 100 support they are giving me.
Yeah.
You do not have to be a Kuwaiti to make it back to the top. If you are a believer, if you are a believer and believe in the Old Testament and the stories in the Old Testament, there is the story of Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph was not a Kuwaiti.
Yeah,
he was not from the Gulf.
Sure.
His family did not have oil,
Sure.
did not have assets in London, did not have investments in the United States of America, did not have no sovereign fund. As a matter of fact, he had 10, 11, 12, 13 brothers with him. Dad that was blind. They were, poor people from the land far away from Egypt. And, every day his dad was crying about him. He was in prison for a while. And Joseph, when he made a comeback, he became on top of everything.
Yeah, sure.
Did not have to be a Kuwaiti, not have to be rich.
Sure.
His family was so, if you believe the Old Testament stories, his family was poor. Every year they used to go to Egypt to do the barley, to bring goods and get, worth of it, in exchange.
Trade by butter, like that.
Yes, and Dad, told them, okay, they say, bring this little kid, so, we make sure that we get extra, blah, 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 blah. And the rest is history.
Yeah, sure.
But Joseph belonged to the most poorest people, family, and he made it back on top, and he became the right-hand man or the minister of finance of one of the greatest empires at the time by the name of the Egyptians.
Yeah.
So if Yaser Albahri can make it without the help of the government, mark this down, without the help of the Kuwaiti government, they still want their money from me, by the way. They still do owe us money. If I could do it,
you can.
You can too. You're in Nigeria. You're anywhere, you can still make it.
You can still make it, yeah. Thank you so much for that. That was a great point. And I think you kind of have the same spirit with Joseph. He saw his brother's treatment as a stepping stone for him, that God sent him there for a purpose. Okay, so the area of stigmatizing people who are out of prison, that shouldn't be a good thing. I don't think it's the right thing to stigmatize people that come out from prison. You didn't experience that, so I don't know if you have any advice for people who are keen to stigmatize.
Well, there was this officer, who was an officer with us in prison. And he had a saying always, and he always used to amuse us. He said, listen, man, I am no better than you. The officer would tell the inmate, he said, I am no better than you. As a matter of fact, I might even be worse than you.
Oh my God.
The only difference between you and I that I still do what I do and I didn't get caught while you got caught. So you, when you come out of prison, you look at the rest of the world and you say, you are no better than me either. You have a lot of skeletons in your closet too. You just have not been caught yet. So I pray to Allah, God, whatever you want to call him, that you don't get caught either. Because you, when you go to prison, I don't think you're going to make it out of there. I made it out at least. You are not going to make it out. So when you take that, and you know, I think you will be a winner with that one. That's a good comeback, huh?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for this. I hope it got value from this because I really did. His life is a challenging one. It's so amazing, and the confidence that he has in himself. And he's just starting. You can imagine being in the prison and he didn't just stay there, lavishing away, thinking of doing evil. He has given advice on that. Don't say because I was accused, let me now go and become the real, armed robber like that. Or it can even be for a young lady. People misunderstand you. Maybe from your dressing, they call you a prostitute and you now feel, okay, because they do this, let me go and do that. No. That's what Mr. Yaser is trying to advise us. Don't allow the situation that you find yourself in to define you. Rewrite your story. Thank you so much for watching. And I appreciate you. Mr. Yaser, give our audience your last shout outs.
Goodbye and good luck. That's all I can tell you.
Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you. Yeah.
كتاب ألف ليلة حبس انفرادي هو الجزء الثاني لكتابي خلف الأسلاك الشائكة. تخيل، ليس فقط أنت في أعنف سجون الولايات المتحدة، بل أيضا في الحبس الانفرادي لمدة تزيد عن 1000 ليلة. ولكن على الرغم من المصاعب وعلى الرغم من المحن والظروف الصعبة، إلا أني استطعت أن أدون قصتي بالكامل وما حل بي في الحبس الانفرادي في الولايات المتحدة الامريكية في كتابي 1000 ليلة حبس انفرادي. أعدك يا عزيزي القارئ، إن بدأت في قراءة هذا الكتاب لن تستطيع التوقف من شدة الأكشن والإثارة.